Hi everyone. In this video we are going to learn how the artificial intelligence is used for developing web applications. Nowadays the artificial intelligence is a smart assistant. It is used in every aspect, every professionals. So here for full stack web development it is also used as a coding agent. In this case, if you are becoming a full stack web developer, learning coding is made very simple and you don't have to concentrate on the syntax and all other things because coding will be taken care of artificial intelligence. So your task is very much reduced. So you will have a great opportunity to learn full stack in a smart, intelligent and proper way. So in this video we are going to learn the effective, intelligent and proper roadmap to learn full stack web development by using artificial intelligence for coding. Full stack development, web development. If you are a beginner and you are going to learn full stack, now it is very easy to learn. The reason is you don't have to concentrate deeply on the code and syntax, everything, because that will be taken care of artificial intelligence. So the only thing you have to learn is the concept level of web development applications. Concept level means how the front end is developed and the back end is developed, how the data can be stored, how it can be manipulated. All those things you have to learn at the concept level. If you are experienced with the full stack also, you have to learn the new way of using AI to develop the application. The reason is nowadays for using the AI, it will create the code. The only task yours is to give the prompt to create a web application, and once the web application is developed, you can verify the functionality and look and feel whether it is being properly developed. If it is not developed, how it can be corrected. All those things you have to concentrate. You don't have to consider coding. You have to instruct the artificial intelligence to develop the application based on your prompt or based on your requirement. Then once it is developed, then you can test and guide the AI to get your project done in minutes rather than weeks. It is another important benefit we are getting by using artificial intelligence as assistant. That is, initially it may be taken a week or months to develop a application. Now it can be reduced to a day or hours because of this artificial intelligence. It will take all the work, around 80 to 90% work it will complete. We have to supervise artificial intelligence whether it is properly developing all the functionalities. If any problem in the functions, then we have to tell the artificial intelligence those functionalities needs to be corrected. Then it will again do the work. So you have, the only thing you have to do is you have to give the prompt in English. Based on that it will develop or correct applications. So you must be very thorough with the web application development, because you need to give the instructions, the logic what you need, all those things you have to give as prompt. Then the artificial intelligence will create the required application. The conventional way of developing web application takes weeks or months. In the first photo we know that a team will develop a web applications. If the web application can be split into different sections, and every section may be developed by a single person and a team, and this should be communicated very well. Every section should be communicated very well, so that they will have a discussion what are the parameters one section is sending and another section of the application receives. All those things they are discussing, and it would take weeks or months. But because AI is developing all these complex communications or everything, and the application can be developed in an hour or days. So it is another one important benefits we can have using the artificial intelligence smartly to complete the application in short period of time. If you are going to learn the technology, you don't have to learn the hard way of coding of HTML tags for contents, CSS to beautify the pages, or JavaScript for actions. We know that HTML is used to provide the content in a proper way, and CSS is to beautify the object and the pages, and JavaScript is for actions. Initially you have to learn everything syntax wise and what is the way it can be represented, all those things you should have learned, then only you can develop the front end. But now the AI is developing using all these codes, so you don't have to learn in a hard way to the syntax. If you are using tags in HTML or for JavaScript, you are going to use the programming language or CSS to instruct the objects. So all those things you must know the concept, the functionality, but you don't have to go through the syntax or how it can be used. All those things that will be taken care of the artificial intelligence. So you have to concentrate on the concept wise. You just learn how they are working together to produce the desired result. That is enough for learning concepts. So if you are very thorough with the concept, based on your logic, you can give the prompt and the artificial intelligence will develop the application. If you are using MERN is for MongoDB, Express, React and Node.js for developing full stack. The React is used for the front end, and the Express and Node is used for back end, and MongoDB is for data storage. It is a NoSQL database. Then what are the things you have to learn is, you should be thorough of front end, back end and the data storage. How the front end is used to design for user friendly, and also it needs to be communicated with the back end to complete the application. So you should know how to route to the different pages or screens in React, how the components are organized, and how the data state is maintained in React. In the React, we know that it is a single page web development front end. So here you need to route the pages from one page to another page, that is navigate from one page to another page, and all these pages are developed with a number of components. These components can be reusable, so these components should be properly organized, whether it can receive data as parameter or it will send data to another component as arguments. So you have to be very thorough with components and how it is organized, and the data states, how among the pages and the components, how the data set is maintained. All those concepts you must be very thorough with. It is used in React. Then only once in the front end is developed by the artificial intelligence AI, then you can go through the functionality, and if possible you can also go through the code generated by the AI, and you can give instruction for debugging or functions, adding functions or enhancing the look and feel. All those things you can give the instructions. So you must know the concept of how the React is being developed. Then you can also know how the Mongoose is used to define the models or the collections, and how it is used to fetch or modify the stored data that can be used in the backend. Backend is being developed by Node.js and Express.js. So the backend will interact with the MongoDB through Mongoose to manipulate the data. So the backend will receives the data, receives the request from front end, and it will send back the response. Before sending back the response, if we needed to manipulate any data that is fetched from the MongoDB, it will do, and the response will also have data to display in the front end. So this is the way the web development full stack web application is working. If you are thorough with the complete concept, then once the application is developed by AI, you can give the instruction to correct or to debug or to enhance the application. All these things you should be thorough with the concept. Concept wise you must be very thorough, because you are going to use logic based on this concept. So you must be very thorough with the concept. coding wise, you should understand the code which is developed by AI, and you should give corrections through your natural language prompt. The natural language prompt is you are using your natural language, but prominently English is used. So the highest programming language, hard programming language now is English. So if you are very thorough with your prompt, you can develop any kind of complex application with the help of AI. So the roadmap to learn at present with the help of AI is used for coding. So at present in the roadmap to learn full stack web development in a short period of time is you should learn HTML, CSS and JavaScript for building front-end interfaces concept-wise. You should be very familiarity with the web development basics, that is DOM manipulation, HTTP requests, that is used for the communication between front-end and the back-end, and form handling. If you are getting the input from your user and it is to be displayed from the response, then you should be very thorough with the form handling. And the basic understanding of APIs. You know that in the backend we are developing the APIs and that will be serving in the backend, and from the front end we have to call that API with the proper parameters, and once the API will send the response also, and the front end will find out a way of attractive to display the response. So these are the concepts you must know for learning full stack web development. Then if you are interested in MERN, particularly MERN, then you have to be very thorough with the React, Node.js, Express.js and MongoDB. So React is, if you are building modern dynamic front ends, then you can use a React. Node.js and Express for backend development. Version control base is Git, useful, though Replit handles this somewhat automatically. Here the Replit is one of the artificial intelligence agent that is used for coding the application. So Git is also, the version control is also done by the Replit, but you should have some knowledge on the version controlling. Then the basic design, UI UX principles, all things will be taken care of AI, but if you have the basic design knowledge, that will help you to instruct the AI to enhance the front end design. Then learn how to code with an AI like Replit AI. This is the modern web development. Nowadays the coding will be carried out by any one of the artificial intelligence agent. One of them is Replit artificial intelligence agent. So you should learn how to code with an AI and how to describe your features of function through natural language prompt to the AI. It is through English. You have to explain what are the functionalities you need, what kind of design you do. You have to specify whether what is the back end, front end, font size, and all those things you can give as a prompt. And ask the AI with the questions, debug and refine the application. You can interact with the AI as human, and you can ask the questions to the AI to modify the application. You can also debug and refine the application. Once the application is ready, you can test the application. So that is the way, that is the easiest roadmap available at present in the modern development. You can use the artificial intelligence as a smart assistant to develop for full stack applications. So nowadays the learning development of full stack application is very easy. You can very thorough with the concept and the logic. So conclusion of this video, we have come to the conclusion of this video. Learning to code is pointless because artificial intelligence will soon take over coding professions. Amjad Mazad, CEO of Replit, he says that hereafter learning coding is pointless because the AI will take care of the complete coding, and this is what he says. And write and edit code through natural language prompts is required at present in the modern development of full stack web development. That is what he says. Build sophisticated applications by simply describing features in plain language English. In the plain English, with the plain English, you can easily describe what functionalities you need and what kind of input or what kind of look and feel of the front end. All those things you can explain in English. The artificial intelligence translates your descriptions into working code without requiring technical syntax. You don't have to say anything about that, say technical index. Just you have to say what are the functionalities and other things with your prompt with a proper English language. At the same time, you can also use your own language, and that can be translated into English by the AI also. At the same time, people will need to continue to work on their basis even if coding becomes outdated. It is a very important point. We are saying that coding is outdated, but at the same time you should increase your knowledge on the coding also, because sometimes in the AI could not do what you wanted. In that case, once the application is developed 80 or 90%, in the appropriate place you can do your coding to modify the functionality as per your requirement. So even though the coding becomes outdated, by having basic knowledge and having a proper coding knowledge will help you to enhance the application whatever way you want. Thank you. So this is the video. It explains about how the web development can be done in this modern area using a smart artificial intelligence agent. So learning full stack development is nowadays has become very easy. You can be so thorough with the concept and the logic. You can forget about coding. If little knowledge about the coding is enough to be a full stack web development developer. And it can be, and not only the knowledge and everything, the application can be developed very quickly if you are very thorough with the prompt. If you are very thorough with what you want, and the application will be developed in very short period of time. Using this kind of help will help us develop our career, and it will be very useful for our future. Thank you for listening.